Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Breath live stream, where we start our day with coherence. I'm your host, Jeremy Tennell, systems designer and coherence coach. Before we get started, if this live stream speaks to you in any way, it'd be appreciated if you would like or subscribe, follow it. And because we are working to try and create something that is relational, leave a comment, share your thoughts, begin a conversation. Those things are so important. They matter. They matter because it's so easy for us to just consume in this world. It's been designed for exactly that. And the challenge is to rise above, it is to evolve beyond the de evolution of constant consumption. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is unscripted, and I've been working off of scripts since I started this. I'll tell you a little bit about the structure that I've had in mind here. The idea is that I'm trying to operationalize something for myself and for a community that I'm trying to build, in which I am working off of my education and lifelong wisdom and trying to share some ideas and some tips that go beyond just the simple day to day, this is how you tie your shoes and make your bed. Those things are important, but we are emerging into a moment in history, a moment in time that, for whatever reason, I feel like I was born into and prepared for and knew was coming. My grandmothers talked about it. My great grandparents talked about it. I knew them. I had the pleasure of knowing them. Um, this is something that the literature and the wisdom literature that I've read all my life, from the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita to to so many other incredible ancient wisdom teachings, talk about this moment in history. It talks about the fact that humanity would come to a place in which its ego and its aspiration would outpace its ability to keep up as far as being human is concerned. We are entering a moment where the choice is going to be presented to us. It's going to be given to us. If you want to keep up, you're going to have to do more than just consume. You're going to have to be altered. If you want to evolve as a human being with AI, you're going to have to become a part of it. And that's going to go beyond just staring at screens. It's probably going to become, something like Neuralink, where we're interfacing with it through our cerebral cortex with an implant. Um, these are very real realities in our life. These were, you know, nightmares and scary stories when I was growing up, but this is it. It's here, and and it's being constructed for us. And if you look, if you watch, if you observe in your workplace, in your day-to-day lives, in the casual scrolling that you might do, it's being constructed for us. It's being constructed for us by a very small group of people who all come from the same community in Silicon Valley and Palo Alto, who have been given an incredible amount of wealth in order to construct and enact a technological future that is not built around our freedom, but it's built around our further capture and enslavement of attention and of our mental resources and of our consumption. There's no Technology is benign. It neither has a positive or an evil intent. There is no devil in the machine. It it's ones and zeros. And with that binary language, we've been able to construct an incredible digital reality, virtual reality. But it's like trying to feed yourself on vapors. There's nothing that's going to sustain you as a human being within that. And it wasn't meant to be a sustenance. It wasn't meant to be something that we sustain ourselves on. It was meant to be a tool. It was meant to be a tool in order to build and advance our human ability. But it's being turned around so that it's not just the tool, but it's the hand holding the tool. Your hands will no longer do hold the tool, metaphorically and soon literally. I mean, what do you do with the internet and with all the tools that are available? What do we all do? We consume. I don't think this is a crisis of technology. I think this is a crisis of humanity. And I do think it's a crisis. It's a very quiet one. And it's quiet because we're pacified. We're all pacified with our news feeds and our constant scrolling, our videos and our pictures. They stimulate and they titillate and they capture our attention, and that's good. We're good because outside of that, life is so busy and so spun up with rising prices and constant war and binary thinking and non-human ways of thinking that it's just good to escape. None of us really want to be here. We all hope that it gets better, and we put our trust into individuals who hold seats of power and wealth that have no intention of making it better. None. If you're putting your faith in a president or a politician, in a CEO or a trillionaire, you're putting your faith in the wrong place. The goal of this course that I've worked to create called Zoetics is to try and have a conversation and provide some tools, not just encourage people to be human in their everyday interactions, in their conscious use of the tools that can still be in their hands, but to try and provide practical ways of how to be more human in your daily interactions. Here's the thing. If we're going to make it beyond this, if we're going to survive this, if we're going to still be human on the other side of this and not some transhuman cyborg something, the minute, I mean, we're cyborgs now. When you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed, you don't even have clothes on. But what's the first thing you dress yourself with? What's the first thing you grab? Your phone. You take it to the bathroom with you. You carry it into the kitchen. You set it on the counter. Maybe you're already watching something, playing something, scrolling through something. You're making your coffee. You're listening to something. You're watching something passively, actively. You walk, you get in the shower, you get ready for work, school, whatever you need to do. You get dressed, it's in the car, you're listening to your music. Maybe at every stop sign, it goes back in your hand. You're scrolling through it as you're waiting for the light to change. I see you. I see you. I see, I look around. You should look around. Look at everyone else sitting at that stoplight. It's with you in traffic as you trying to make your way to wherever you're going. It's with you at the office. You use it to check this or check that as you're trying to get things done at school or at work, even though your bosses or your teachers or your principals are strongly discourage with a look of disapproval. But you're still there, you're still using it. It comes back home with you. It's there on the couch after dinner as you're watching television and still scrolling, still double screening it, still watching. Maybe you don't do any of that. Maybe you don't even leave the house. You know, maybe you've just spent the past 4 days sitting behind a screen. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know where you're at, but I do know that we're all integrating this thing so powerfully into our lives without any thought. And that makes us cyborgs. We are melded with technology. I mean, if your screen time app says that you spend more than 3 hours a day with that thing in your hand looking at it, if you've got more than 100 pickups, you're a cyborg. So am I. It's a problem. It's a problem because we're already on a path towards a non-human, transhuman future. And the bummer is that we're at this moment in time in which our discovery and understanding of the human nervous system, of how the universe works, of the nature of gravity, of the nature of energy, of the nature of the space in between us, and how it's not empty, it's full. It's full of potential, that the space defines the matter. Our understanding of how the universe works is coming to a place where we've never in our modern era understood it in this manner. And instead of leaning into this moment in which our human potential can grow into something that is beyond our current understanding of what it is to be human, we're going to give that up for the passive nature of having a new master through a transhuman path. That's a problem. Last night I went to this teaching with my wife, and it's an indigenous business leader. She is a Pacific Islander, lives in Hawaii, and she discussed this idea of being fully yourself, being fully human in business. And one of the things that she said about that is you have to start by treating yourself as human. And I mean, if you've got a job, you know what I mean, right? You don't have to sit in a cubicle or behind a desk in order to know what I'm saying about being fully human in the workplace. If you've got a job, you know what I mean, right? You know, if you're going to keep that job or be successful in any minor way, you've got to put yourself aside when you put that uniform on, or you put the suit on, or you put the clothes on, or you walk through that door, or you punch in your time card, and you've got to be the employee. And we're so used to putting ourselves aside. We're so used to putting ourselves aside that now we're doing it online. We've been doing it online for 20 years, right? That avatar that we create for ourselves on our Instagram, the scripts I write for this for this program, I'm not truly being myself. I'm projecting. I'm projecting a self, a fabricated self, out there for people to see, because I have to create a brand, right? And we discussed this last night as well. This idea that you know, branding. I need to make my personal brand. I got to create my personal brand. Words have meaning. The word brand comes from branding, like a cow, like chattel. And brands are used in order to mark ownership. They're used to prepare for sale. They're used to engage in commerce. And they were used against human beings during the centuries of chattel enslavement. Brands have been used against human beings in enslavement for millennia. It's how you mark property. It's how you mark somebody as not fully human. And now we're doing it to ourselves. How do I create an avatar? How do I create a brand? What are my colors? What are my patterns? What are my shapes? These need to express a value. They need to express what my intentions are, where I want to go, how I want to drive this, how I want you to see me. The problem is that it doesn't feel fully human. And how do you engage in talking about Zoetic principles of life, principles of thriving, if we're not being fully human? We're always going to be somewhat limited as long as we're on this digital format. If we're not sitting in a circle with each other, having a conversation in real time, in a real place, it's going to be difficult to be fully human with each other. That's what I want. I want to drive towards being fully human with this. And I want to invite you to drive with me towards being fully human. Maybe you and I can't be in a room together and sitting in circle with others and having a conversation, engaging and learning and teaching together. But we can create a space in which we're doing that with others and coming back together on our tools in our hands. And we're advancing these ideas with each other and others. That is a reality. So that's the invitation. Let's be fully human together. Let's move towards our humanity, towards the potential that's being presented quietly before us on the side, which requires us to put down the screens in order to see, in order to understand. I'll do my best in order to guide my part of the process and invite you to guide your part of the process. So let's wrap this up with a little breath work. And the reason why we do that is because my particular area of research has been around engaging human systems through coherent and conscious means through breath. As you may or may not know, I'm a PhD researcher currently working on writing my dissertation. The name of the dissertation is called Holofractal Systems Theory, which is a complement in addition to complex adaptive systems and cybernetic theories, which are a model for seeing the world around us and the human world we construct. Very effective one, extremely effective, in fact. Far more effective than the one that we're taught in schools, which is called the Cartesian method, which is to see things broken down into their individual parts. But systems and complexity theories see things as a whole and observe the relationship between the parts. And in doing so, the whole remains intact. One of the things that the original writers of this were doing is they were observing the systems out here. They were observing the systems outside of themselves, and they were documenting them, and they were finding the relationships between them. What my theoretical framework is doing is it's turning it around. You are a complex adaptive system. You are the system, and the system is you. If each part of the system contains the whole within it, then you are the system that is around you, and the system is you. And so the influence to change the system that may not be working for you is within you. So how do you do that? You do it consciously. You do it coherently. You learn to engage yourself as a system in the most coherent manner possible. And that starts with understanding how your autonomic nervous system works. It is not something that controls you, although most of the time it does, because we were never taught to engage with it, to be in relationship with it. And breath is the means in order to be in relationship with it. It is the mechanism. It works without you thinking about it. When you're stressed, when you're anxious, you're creating these little shallow breaths and you don't even think about it. And it keeps you in a state of anxiety. But if you were to just take 3 simple long breaths, take 2 more with me. Take 1 more. It changes the trajectory. So that's why we practice breath every morning. We practice it in order to bring conscious awareness for you to your breath in those moments in which you need to engage it so that you are in the driver's seat. And we practice it so that you can learn to use it as a tool, not just beyond trying to catch those moments of somatic reaction where you're feeling a little bit out of control, but also so that you can use it to direct your life. So let's engage with our autonomic nervous system for a few minutes. We're going to practice for about 6 minutes, and then we're going to close up. So let's find a comfortable seat. Let's shift our hips and roll our shoulders back. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose. Exhale all your air out. Pull your stomach in. Do it again. Exhale everything out. Now breathe in for about 6 seconds. And out for 6. In for 6. Out for 6. In. Out. Maintain that pattern. Keep going. I'm placing my hand over my heart. Now let's begin a gratitude list with our minds. Keep your breath going. I'm thankful for this moment. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful for the birds chirping. I'm thankful for the sunrise. I'm thankful for the opportunities that today brings. Keep your breath going. Keep your gratitude going. Build on your gratitude. Expand it. Become detail-oriented with it. I'm thankful for my wife and the person she is. I'm thankful for my kids and the people they're becoming. I'm thankful for my grandchildren. I'm thankful for the lessons I've learned in life. Get dangerous with it. I'm thankful for the hardship that I've had in life. I'm thankful for the things that it's taught me. Get wild with it. I'm thankful for the pain I've felt. I'm thankful for the compassion that it's given me. Go deep with your gratitude as you continue your breath. Hold those two patterns. Silently expand your gratitude list as you continue your breath. Let's do it on our own for a few minutes. Stay with it. When you become distracted, come back to your breath. Come back to your gratitude. Stay with it. Let's take a deep breath in. Come back to this space. One more. If this resonates with you, stay with the work. Practice your breath. Join me here in the mornings, 6 a.m. I don't know exactly how this is going to look. I don't know if I'm going to stay in the home studio or try something different. I've got to find a way in order to bring my full self to this, not just some brand. I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Have a great day. And remember, take a breath.